So, just as sort of like a background, I guess, I do want to say that I have played the first game. My brother actually used to own it on the GameCube a long time ago when I was little, and I really liked that game a lot, and it was a lot of fun. So when they announced this one, I was super excited for it. I've played the second one a little bit, which is Dark Moon for the 3DS, but I really didn't like the fact that they made it more mission based, like you couldn't go in certain rooms if you were on certain missions or this and that. I thought it was kind of dumb that they limited the player so much. So to see this one go back to the original format and just make it kind of bigger scale as the first one was, I really enjoy it a lot. So the basic premise to this game is you and all of your friends and your brother and etc. It's you, Peach, and 3 toads, I think, and your dog, Pup. I don't remember him that much, but I'm pretty sure he comes into play in the second game. So you all get invited to this hotel, and it's like all fancy, like super gold, like it seems really like too good to be true, pretty much, because it is. And once you get to the hotel, everybody's all super excited, and they go to their rooms for the first night and to go to bed, and pretty much like the hotel starts to like decay back into its original state, and you hear you hear Peach scream from her room, so you go and investigate, and everybody's pretty much gone. And then you figure out that the person who invited you to the hotel is a ghost, and she pretty much broke out King Boo and all of his little minions and everything from Dr. Egad's lab, which I think that's all the progress you did in the first game. I'm not sure if this one takes the second, like a lot from the second game per se, but pretty much like all of the ghosts and everything that you captured from the first game are now back in the world. I don't know if you actually fight any of the original like boss ghosts or anything from the first one. They all seem to be new and original designs and characters, but as far as they say in the story, they released everybody, and King Boo is back in charge of terrorizing you and your brother and all the people you brought to the hotel, I guess. So after escaping King Boo for the first time, you basically end up jumping down the laundry chute, and you end up in the basement. Here you end up going over to the garage to find Dr. Egad's car, where you get the poltergust, which is the vacuum that you use through the other 2 games. And from here you pretty much start to find your friends and sort of make your way up through this hotel and catch a lot of ghosts. So the first thing that I realized when I started to actually get into the game and use the poltergust a lot is that you can pretty much interact with anything there is on the map. Like you can, whether it's suck it up or move it around with your little vacuum, or just clean the area by getting rid of everything you can find, pretty much. You can mess with pretty much everything, and I think that's super cool because it shows off a lot of attention to detail, and it makes the world feel more alive, and it's very good. I guess the biggest point to this, the fact that everything is usable pretty much, is that you're going to get a lot of money by doing this. And in the first game, if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't a shop or any way to spend the money. It was basically just sort of like a collectibles feature where you would collect a whole bunch of money, and at the end of the game, depending on how much you collected, it would give you a score or whatever to kind of reflect how much you collected. I don't know if that's the case in this one because I've not beat it yet. I'm definitely taking my time more with this one, as where if I was thinking about doing guides on it like I did with Link's Awakening, but with this game specifically, it's a brand new game. I've played Link's Awakening on the Game Boy before. I just wanted to take my time with this one and really enjoy it, kinda. So with this one, I haven't beat it yet, so I don't know if there's per se a grade that you unlock by collecting money, but there is a shop in this one that you can spend some of your coins to buy different upgrades and stuff. They're pretty simple stuff. You can buy a gold bone, and the gold bone basically just lets you, if you run out of health, your dog will come and revive you as long as you have a gold bone on you. So it just pretty easy, simple stuff that they could add that it kind of makes your gameplay experience a little easier if you want it to. But me being I'm sort of wanting to make sure that the money number in the bottom left stays intact, so I'm not buying anything so far. I just want to see how high I can get it, pretty much. So that's always fun, and it's kind of just like me being slightly OCD. It's a lot of fun just to run around in each of the rooms and suck up everything I can and find all this money just to do it, and it makes me feel better that the room is cleaner at the end, even though if I were to switch floors and come back to this one, it's pretty much just going to go back to a mess anyway. Towards the beginning of the game, once you save EGAD and you've really started to make your way through the first couple of floors of the hotel, you do unlock a couple of different ways that you can kind of use the poltergust, in which there's one called dark vision or something, and it's like using a black light almost. I think you'll see it right here as I use it on this painting, but it's basically you can use it on certain surfaces, and it'll even show ghosts that are invisible and stuff, so that's kind of cool and a neat way to show stuff. There's certain situations where say if there's a pattern on the wall or something where there's one painting and then it looks like there should be a second painting and then there's a third painting, you can most likely use dark vision to reveal the second painting, and you'll get money or some sort of reward for doing that, whether it be a little gem or whatever, which kind of moves us on to collectibles. There are, I guess you would say, there's 3 different kinds of collectibles. There's the money, there's these gems that each floor has. I think there's 6 gems on each floor, and they're all different colors, but they're the same colors for each floor, if that makes any sense. So there's always a white gem, there's always a red gem, but they're all on each individual floor, and they look different for each floor depending on what the theme of the floor is, really. But they're pretty much just little hidden gems that you have to go around and do small tasks, with that one that I uncovered with the black light. You wouldn't know to do that on a regular basis, so you just run around and explore and try to find it, I guess. Other than that, the third upgrade, or the third collectible, that is, would be the booze. So there's obviously the regular types of ghosts that you find running around the hotel, but once you get to a certain point, you start to see actual booze from the main series game. Those are the ghosts that you're probably more accustomed to playing a Mario game, but they start showing up on each individual floor. I think only after you've completed the floor itself, so it's kind of something you have to go back to, which can be a little tedious because you have to go back and search through a lot of different rooms and stuff. But it's kind of cool because the gimmick is that your backpack has the slime in it, and once you get close to the boo, the slime will start to vibrate, and it kind of vibrates your controller to let you know where it is, and you basically have to pick the object in the room that the goo vibrates the most when you're next to, so that way you can actually pick which item the boo is inside of, and if you pick the wrong one, he relocates and you have to go find him again. So it's kind of like a little game of hide and seek almost. I thought it was kind of fun. It's just something a little extra you can do if you're really wanting to. Another upgrade you get is the sort of plunger shot, where you shoot you basically just shoot a plunger with a string on the end of it or a rope, and then you use that rope, you get suctioned onto the rope, and then you pull it, and then it can kind of slam objects towards you, or pull objects towards you or out of someone's hand, or etc. You kind of just have to use it when you need to get something in front of you. I don't know, away. I don't know how to explain that, but if you can see what I'm doing on the screen, it's fairly simple. It's suction cup wall, pull, stall door either breaks or gets pulled towards you to open, or etc. etc. So that one's pretty useful here and there, because later in the game, some of the ghosts start carrying different items that will, in one of the levels, they're carrying a shield, so you have to suction cup the shield and then pull the shield out of their hand, or else you can't flash them with the flashlight. So I don't know, there's just different scenarios where all of these upgrades kind of come in handy, and they really work together in different ways, so that's really cool. So the last one that I wanted to talk about feature-wise was Luigi, who is pretty much a goo clone of Luigi, who can kind of make his way through these barred surfaces or fences or anything anything that he, like Luigi himself, couldn't really go through that's not just like a solid wall, most likely Luigi can make his way through that and kind of help you by, you know, interacting with stuff on the other side. There's small things like Luigi can't open doors, and he can't touch water at all, because if he does, the goo kind of just like collapses and you have to start over from back where Luigi is on in his position. So you kind of just like shoot him out of the back of the poltergust, and then he kind of just, you control him by clicking the right stick, and you can swap back and forth, which actually creates a lot of like interesting mechanics, because there's different situations where you need to have both Luigi and Luigi like sucking, like there's like one of the sections, there's like a little like there's 2 fans on the walls, and you would use the suction to make the fan spin on one side, and then you would activate Luigi and he would activate the one on the other side, and then with both of them rotating at the same time, it would unlock something. Or, you know, there's just situations where you need both characters, and you do use it pretty often in this game, which I was kind of surprised at. Like, I didn't really think it was going to be like a main mechanic, but this is pretty, you know, important to have, and you use him in a lot of different sections of the game, so it's pretty cool. I actually enjoy using him a lot as far as like the puzzle aspect of things. But by far, I think the thing that's the most interesting to me about this game is fighting these fun and interesting bosses, and making your way up through this hotel and finding different like cool interactable stuff and characters, and saving your friends and stuff. And it's just it's a really cool and fun time. Like, I've just taken my time with it over the last week and playing a lot of it. I think I'm about halfway through with the game at this point, but there's a lot to do, and like some of the floors take you a really long time to beat, whereas others are kind of shorter, so it breaks up some of the monotony there, and it has good pacing, and it's just really fun. Like, I would have to say this is definitely my favorite game on the Switch at the moment, which is saying a lot, because I mean there's some pretty good titles on the Switch for sure, but I don't know, nothing that really grabs me like this does. This touches on the nostalgia of playing the GameCube version a little bit, while also adding new and fun mechanics, and it really plays well on the Switch itself. So yeah, until the new Pokemon game comes out, pretty much playing this on the Switch pretty much by itself. Like, I don't play anything else. So other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little video, I guess. I don't really want to call it a review or anything, but it's good. You should go out and buy it if you want. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.